a hair transplant take? No, it will not take an eternity. An average hair transplant takes about 6 to 8 hours. So before we get into the nuances of this often asked question, let us get into the nitty-gritties of a hair transplant procedure. The timeless adage, cut your coat according to your cloth, resonates universally and finds its relevance also in the field of hair transplant surgery. Just as one must tailor the actions according to the resources available in daily life, so must a surgeon doing hair transplant measure twice but cut just once. Exercising prudence in surgery, knowing the limits, the capabilities of his team, helps in adapting a surgeon's approach to how many grafts he should restrict himself in a single day's session. For instance, harvesting 3,000 grafts may be imprudent, at times cavalier, if the surgeon and his team lacks the ability, lacks the coordination, lacks the skill to implant these 3,000 grafts within 4 to 6 hours into the recipient area. Before we go further, let us revise the steps of a hair transplant. The steps are essentially 8. Number 1, counseling and hairline design the day of the procedure. No matter how many times you have gone through this exercise, it is very prudent to design the hairline to dovetail the patient's expectations with what can be delivered by the clinic in an aesthetic manner. Number 2 is preparation, which entails trimming, aseptic cleaning of the donor area, the recipient area, basically the whole head, and securing an intravenous line. Thirdly, local anesthesia. At times a patient may require some sedation, but mostly one can get away without giving sedation. Then follows harvesting of grafts from the scalp donor and the bodily donor if it is a mega session. As the grafts are being harvested or after the harvesting is complete, as in our procedure, graft preparation is done. Grafts are trimmed, grafts are cleaned and returned into the holding solution. This is followed by a short break of about 15 to 20 minutes where the patient has a small snack with coffee, goes to the washroom and then lies supine, that is face upward, and anesthesia is given along the hairline. Once the anesthesia has taken effect in 7 to 10 minutes, slits are made. If the procedure is going to be done over 2 days, the remaining slits may be carried on to the next day. Sometimes we also prefer to do the slits the same day. After slit making, the surgeon's role is usually over other than supervising the whole plantation process. The plantation process goes on for about 2 to 3 hours. The surgeon is supervising the entire process. Once the plantation is done, the patient's donor area, the recipient area are cleaned and the patient goes into the post-op care room where he is explained the care for the night, is given medications for the night, and a driver is arranged to carry him to his hotel or his home. An average hair transplant procedure requires about 20 man-hours. 20 man-hours from a team of around 5 people who work from start to finish, and this includes the doctor. The surgeon harmonizes their efforts with symphonic precision, and the procedure lasts for about 6 to 8 hours in an average hair transplant procedure. A low attrition rate amongst the staff ensures that the team remains well oiled and every detail in the process is meticulously attended to. The importance of time management in achieving optimal results through a hair transplant procedure cannot be understated, especially for clinics like ours and many others across the globe, where routinely mega sessions are done, mega sessions entailing about 4,500 to 5,500 grafts in a day, both from the scalp and the body donor. The seamless coordination of the staff, of the team, is paramount. Without wasting a moment between breaks, between the steps of the procedure, our highly synchronized and agile team ensures optimal graft survival. So the out-of-body ischemia time of grafts, the time period the grafts are out of the body, is crucial. Needless to say that this is one most important factor which determines optimal results. Various clinics achieve this in their various ways. Some would like to implant the grafts simultaneously as they are harvested from the scalp donor. They go into the recipient area without a time lag. They do not go into a holding solution. In my clinic, I prefer to do the in vivo preservation of grafts. I do not extract the grafts after they are cored in the donor area. Leave them there, soaked in Ringer's lactate solution along with A-cell. Only after the whole harvesting procedure is complete that they are taken out and put in a preserving solution, the holding solution. Utilization of implanter pins is also a technique to decrease the out-of-body ischemia time and to place the graft in the recipient area without much trauma. Other clinics would like to divide the procedure over 2 to 3 days. This is especially true for clinics which are doing manual harvesting of grafts. Also for clinics which do not have the paraphernalia, the skill, or the manpower, their team is not very well oiled, or they're just starting hair transplant, to split the procedure over 2 to 3 days. And lastly, doing a procedure in small sessions 3 to 6 months apart. At my clinic, Darling Buds Clinic, Hair Transplant Clinic in India, the decision whether to do a procedure in one session, single day session, or to do a 2-day session depends upon the complexity of case, which is different for different people. But usually we do mega sessions in an intensive session which lasts about 8 to 10 hours. While we opt against simultaneous harvesting and placement of grafts, since I believe in the fact that grafts, since they come out randomly, they cannot be placed strategically if simultaneous harvest and simultaneous placement is done, I defer the placement of grafts till such time I have cleaned the grafts, prepared the grafts into singles, doubles and triples and fours at times before going into the plantation. Implanter pens in our clinic are routinely used and they add to efficient workflow. At my clinic, though most procedures are completed in a single day, procedures up to 5,000 grafts, sometimes, depending upon the complexity of the case, say a patient with a very thick dermis where extraction is a little difficult, or a patient, say, who is obese, who cannot maintain the prone position face down for a long period of time, a patient who has spine problems, who cannot maintain a position for a prolonged period of time, or patients with other medical illnesses, we may have to split the procedure over 2 days, and at times when we are doing chest grafts as well, besides scalp and beard grafts, we may have to do the procedure over 3 days. The duration of a hair transplant procedure depends upon the number of grafts that are being planted, the complexity of the patient, the skill of the team involved in doing the hair transplant surgery. A procedure which entails about 1,000 to 1,500 grafts will typically take 4 hours. 2,000 to 2,500 grafts procedure takes usually 6 hours. Similarly, 3,000 to 3,500 grafts we are able to accomplish in about 8 hours. The time taken to do mega sessions is capped at around 8 hours because for us, the out-of-body ischemia time is paramount towards the success of a hair transplant procedure. So that was the answer to an often asked question, how much time does a hair transplant procedure take? So I hope you have understood. It will better prepare you for your surgery ahead. But if you have still some questions lingering in your mind about hair transplant surgery, about hair loss treatment for men and women, or any other question that is pertinent to this talk, do let me know in the comment section below. If you want a personalized consultation about your specific hair loss pattern, do drop us a message on the WhatsApp number provided and we'll be there to guide you. Thanks for watching again. Bye.